Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. From today, I am going to read out you a few articles compiled by Dr. K. Veeramani on the necessity of scientific temper. Today, I am going to read out you first on a statement on scientific temper by Dr. K. Veeramani. The history of humanity bears witness to periods of enlightenment as well as to periods of darkness. It bears witness to the rise and fall of civilizations. Through all the vicissitudes of time, the knowledge gained by humanity has retained a quality of indestructibility. Viewing the entire panorama of the universal history of mankind, one becomes conscious of a continuous but forward movement towards greater knowledge and to an increasing capacity of human beings to exercise control over their environment. While humanity as a whole accumulates knowledge, there is no guarantee that the availability of such knowledge will, by itself, enable every country to use it successfully for its own advancement and the well-being of the people. There are examples in history where predominant social, political, cultural, and value systems inhibited the absorption of knowledge, resulting in periods of stagnation, decay, and retreat from reason, rationality, and science. Though the Renaissance began in Italy and Galileo, the harbinger of modern science, was an Italian, adherence to obscurantism enforced by the Church led Italy to losing the benefit of the Renaissance, which fertilized northern parts of Europe. The Renaissance and the Reformation then combined together to revolutionize thought as well as society. In our own country too, we have known of periods of creativity when the spirit of inquiry led to the accumulation of scientific knowledge. There was creativity in literature, music, arts, and crafts. However, we have also known of periods when the spirit of inquiry got extinguished. During those long stretches of time, everything was reduced to unquestioning dogmas and the performance of dead rituals. There was deadening of curiosity and questioning. There was only passivity and acceptance. And finally, we were overtaken by the greatest of disasters, our complete colonization and subjugation to British imperialism. Contemplating our decline, decay, and subjugation, some of our best minds began asking themselves why and how it all happened. This spirit of inquiry and questioning gave birth to a wide social cultural movement which we call the Indian Renaissance. The best Indian minds in the pre-independence times insistently propagated the need for the people to think independently and fearlessly and to question traditional beliefs. This effort, in time, produced a critique of the colonial system. The British imperial system, aligning itself with the vested interests, endeavored to counter the broad stream of nationalism by encouraging revivalism and obscurantism. And though Renaissance never elaborated a critique of our entire ancient society and unfortunately made compromises, the urge to acquire knowledge and the scientific outlook remained strong. The spirit of questioning ultimately overwhelmed an imperial system which seemed so powerful and even immutable. There is a wide awareness in our times that we are living in a scientific age of great discoveries in science, affecting and molding both our material and social existence. It is indeed remarkable how a comparatively small number of physical laws seem sufficient to explain a great part of behavior of matter, right from the huge and massive heavenly objects located at the very edges of outer universe to the minute regions of atoms and atomic nucleus. In life sciences, we are in the midst of far-reaching, even revolutionary changes. The entire history of humanity shows that it is this scientific temper which not only created and promoted science, but also gave humanity the means to affect the natural and social environment. It is therefore the scientific temper which is the most precious heritage of humanity. It is the result of incessant human labor, search, and struggle. Jawaharlal Nehru gave an impetus to scientific temper by setting before the people the target of catching up with the rest of the world with the help of science and technology. He unfolded the perspective of leapfrogging the centuries. Implicit in such a vision was a vast change in the intellectual climate of our people. Our constitution and the subsequent resolution on science policy were predicted upon the assumption that our ancient society needed basic changes. However, there was not enough appreciation of the relationship between the objectives to be achieved and the methods as well as the instrumentalities appropriate for bringing about the desired changes. No systematic and sustained effort was made to work out specifically and concretely what needed to be done to build a society which is animated by a spirit of inquiry. Rather than passivity and acceptance, the result of this lack of directed efforts was accommodation, even compromise with the forces obscurantism and with the existence in egalitarian social and economic structures. Failure to give mass dimensions and appropriate institutional forms to scientific temper, more especially to our educational system, led to the erosion of confidence in our capacity to mold our destiny. In such an environment, scientific temper is beleaguered and besieged by deep-rooted structures of an ancient society with superimposed colonial structures. Consequently, there has been frustration of our hopes of optimizing the results of the application of science and technology for our national reconstruction. Inevitably, such frustration has encouraged a search for and reliance upon authority. Inevitably, too, there has been a growth of tendencies to escape into magical beliefs and instant solutions. Even science and technology are being offered not as methods of inquiry or value systems, but as magical cues for our ills, reminding one of the time when Roman intellectuals sought refuge in Levantine magic. There is inadequate appreciation of the close interaction between science and technology and society, and of the fact that the benefits of science and technology can reach the people only if the socio-economic conditions are conducive. If the cultural environment, socio-economic conditions, and institutional structures inhibit the spirits of inquiry, the desired results can never be achieved. The gravity of our predicament is increasing day by day. While we rank high among the industrialized countries in the world and are the third largest country in the world in regard to the stock of manpower trained in science and technology, we are close at the bottom of the list in terms of per capita food consumption, longevity, healthcare, and general quality of life. We have all the technology available right now within the country to give water, food, shelter, and basic healthcare to our millions. And yet, we do not, something has gone wrong. The logic of planning and the logic of our socio-economic structures are at variance. Hence, our failures and disappointments. In such an environment, there is an erosion of belief in the capacity of human faculties to solve national problems through a systematic critique of the existing social situation. There is a cancerous growth of superstition at all levels. Rituals of the most bizarre kind are frequently performed, often with official patronage. Obscurantist social customs are followed even by those whose profession is the pursuit of scientific inquiry. Our entire education system works in an atmosphere of conformity, non-questioning, and obedience to authority. Quoting authority of one kind or another substitutes inquiry, questioning, and thought. Obscurantism and irrationalism practiced by a hierarchy of authorities has the predictable effect of reinforcing retreat from reason. Voices raised against such a state of affair get silenced. The decision-making processes are increasingly being diverse from any rational purpose of there is no long-term perspective based on ascertained facts and scientific analysis. Atheism, whims, and the narrowest of considerations take the place of well-planned programs. Priorities, if any, are fixed without sufficient database and without any attempt at scientific evaluation of national needs. Mere slogans tend to be used as a substitute for action and creating an illusion of achievement. Priorities, if any, are fixed without sufficient database and without any attempt at scientific evaluation of national needs, potentialities, and feasibility of implementation. Mere slogans tend to be used as a substitute for action and for creating an illusion of achievement. Dramatic crash programs are launched. These inevitably crash. There are no perspective plans. Even 5-year plans have been reduced to annual exercises of allocating funds. As our country enters into last 2 decades of the 20th century, the need to move forward is becoming ever more insistent. We either overcome the obstacles or we shall be overcome by unreason and dark reaction. We must understand the meaning as well as the imperative of scientific temper, representing as it does humanity's assertion of being in charge of its destiny and not a passive victim of malevolence or benevolent of stars. To do so, we need to actively combat beliefs which erode scientific temper and undermine its growth. Only then shall we illumine our darkening national horizon and provide our people once again with a vision and a method for translating that vision into reality. Such a vision must have a scientific temper as its integrating bond. And here I shall end the article today, and in the next episode I shall be reading out to you regarding attributes of scientific temper. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Dr. Samaram Multi-Channel Network, which crossed 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.
Please download Samaram Multi-Channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.